Lunchtime, and I put burgers on. You're like, okay, Ben, Mickey Mouse smile, everything looks good. The issue is I think we are out of protein. We're out of propane, so I'm gonna have to go search to get some propane. I've actually never purchased propane, so we're gonna go on a little adventure and find out where to get it, and then we're gonna talk about the risks of buying a used BMW. Let's go. Just like that, we are in business. Also got some mechanics gloves so I can pretend I work on my car. Did I just say pretend? This virus really making me fucking crack.
News: the expensive little blue pill.
Beautiful.
Which means the prescription medication
yes
is super affordable at forhims.com.
God.
Your first online doctor's
That's on the list for sure. Last night, as we're sleeping, I drank a Red Bull at 5:59 p.m. So I was wired laying in bed.
Against my best advice.
Yeah, you said not to. But I did it anyways because that's what I had to do. I had to know that it wasn't going to put me to bed. Now I know. But anyways, Jamie wakes up. Now this is not the first time this happened, but it was unique. Jamie wakes up and goes, there are flowers, buckets of flowers falling in the room. I'm not even kidding. I was like, Jamie, it's okay. There are no flowers falling. And she's like, they're falling. Usually there's a spider in the room. Usually there's bugs in the room.
A bug or a person.
There's been people in the room. Yeah, there's been all kinds of issues, but she was convinced that buckets of flowers are falling. Anyways, on my way to FedEx to pick up something for work, then we have to go to the grocery store. But one comment I've been getting a lot since buying my M2.
Why are there so many cars out? Are they supposed to be in quarantine?
This guy here? Yeah, I know, he wants to beat me.
I think the bus is gonna win.
Ultimas are very fast, Jamie.
Very fast.
Thing is, I hope you're okay with all of the maintenance costs on the BMW that's going to break, they're unreliable, they're expensive, blah, blah, blah. So I wanted to address this and talk about the risks of buying a BMW used and how I feel that I have avoided all of those risks. So this is a 2018 BMW M2. It still has its manufacturer's warranty. So when I took it into BMW, I got everything put into my name, and that cost me $100. But what that $100 is for, though, is to get all of the remaining warranty on the car moved over to my name and not the previous owner. So when I go back in now to get the oil changed, I think the brake fluid's going to be changed in the next service. They change out all of the filters. All of that stuff is done, and it's now free, or for the $100. So usually that would be about a $250 service, just going in to get that done. Now it is $0, or if you want to say $100 goes toward the next 3 services. After that, it's going to cost me probably about $250, or depending on what I want them to do to the car. Now, besides that, let's say I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to have any further expenditures. I want to have fixed costs moving forward, including my car payment. I can extend the warranty on my M2 all the way up to 125,000 miles through BMW. That costs MSRP about, I think it's like $7,500. But again, that extends all the way through 125,000 miles. Jesus Christ.
Huh.
We were just gonna sit at the light for a little while.
Yeah.
And for a while, I thought maybe the car broke down.
That was extremely delayed.
Yeah, they have the virus.
Reaction to the honk.
Yeah, they reacted to someone going by. I don't know what that was. So anyways, now that may sound very expensive to you, and I agree that that is expensive. But then what I realized, what it covered, it's actually pretty impressive. For example, it covers things such as the rotors wearing down. Like if I were to take this to track days and just beat the hell out of it, I could replace the brakes and rotors, and that's included in that fully extensive warranty. So there's a lot you can do to negotiate how these costs are going to play out if the car breaks down. There's aftermarket warranties. There's all kinds of things. Now, if you're going to build your car and have a crazy build, my suggestion to you is get a car that is well within your budget. Do not stretch it. if you have to get a higher mileage car, if you have to get an M4 or something like that, maybe that's the play to go with because they are cheaper on the used market. But that's what I did in order to avoid that. So getting a 2018 and then also getting it with a warranty switched over to my name, and there's no worry on my end. I have a payment I'm comfortable with. If something crazy goes wrong, I can afford to pay it. So factoring all of those things in, not going way beyond your budget or anything like that, get what you're comfortable with. I'm not saying settle, but I'm saying get something that you're comfortable with if something goes wrong, and base it on, are you gonna tune it? Do you wanna keep it just as a nice car? Or do you wanna sell it down the road and keep it really nice? So that's why I've done things like putting Expel paint protection film on it. I've done all things to make the car's value to a really picky buyer, possibly down the road, they're gonna appreciate all of the things that I've done. So I think that'll help you down the road if you're looking to buy one of these cars. I hope that helps a little bit, give you some direction as far as the worries of buying a used BMW. Now, this is a newer BMW. If yours comes with out of warranty, if it's a E46 M3, which is a really popular one for everyone to get, you know, I think just make sure you're buying something that you can afford to fix. Budget in $5,000 for any repairs that need to happen, and then all that kind of stuff. Because at the end of the day, you're spending a lot of money on a vehicle. You want to make sure you're getting what you want, and you don't want to settle, but you also don't want to jump ahead to where it's putting an unnecessary stress on your life. But yeah, the model that I got is extremely clean. It was totally stock and still is, minus the Expel that I added on and the XR Plus tint, which is the best stuff out there. Well, I guess 3M Crystalline is probably a little bit better, but the M2's clean. Yesterday I took it to the canyons, as you guys know, and the brake dust on these things is insane. If any of you have gotten ceramic coating on your rims, if you have an M, which produce a ton of brake dust, I want to know if that's worth it. I guess you can just hose them off and they're good to go, but I've also heard it can be like $500 to get your wheels ceramic coated. I'd be willing to pay like $250 on that. I'm not sure what it costs though, so interested to see if that's worth it to you guys. The other things here, what upgrades do you guys want to see next on the M2? I'm thinking possibly the M Performance exhaust. I like the Bluetooth feature. I think it adds a lot to the car. I think that could be pretty cool. There's also the Akrapovic exhaust. The M2, the normal M exhaust is a single pipe straight back from the downpipe. The Akrapovic exhaust is a dual pipe. It's the only one out there, I think, that is actually a dual outlet all the way back to the muffler and everything. It sounds amazing. I think it's a little too loud, so we'll see. But yeah, I'm just gonna get this thing cleaned up. M2 is totally clean. For some reason it keeps dripping water right here. I can't really figure out where it's from, and I even use the blower that I have to blow it all out. Blowouts don't work on this thing. Extremely clean. I just realized I say that a lot in my videos when I went back and watched a few of them. I say extremely clean a lot. But this paint, I don't know, everything about this car I really love. I don't have any buyer's remorse with it, and I just kind of like it as it is. I think M Performance exhaust is coming with the carbon tips and the Bluetooth. I just think that's a really cool exhaust. Obviously, I like when manufacturers make performance parts for their cars. That's just my taste, just because the quality on them is so good, and the engineering that goes into them from the factory. I just appreciate that. So that's what I think might be next for the M2. Focus ST has some check engine lights. I think maybe replacing the brakes soon, replacing and upgrading the brakes, but I'm not sure exactly which company I'm going to go with yet. But fix the check engine lights, and then replace the brakes and continue upgrading. So thank you all for watching. Leave your comments below on any questions you have on the BMW or the ST. I have the Escape as well, but that's a boring car. But thank you for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.